Growthicator here. I am the king of the close read. And I call myself the king of the close read because, well, I'm the king of my own reading. Anyone could be the king or queen of their own reading. However you read is how you read, and nobody can take that away from you. So I am in this text doing a close read in the text called The Returning Soldiers, written by W.E.B. Dubois. May 1919, man, it's a long time ago. This is where I actually got it from. I got it from a website called the American Yup Reader. I think that's how you pronounce it. Just a little context for you before we get into this text. This is in the aftermath, as you can see in the underlined section right here. This is in the aftermath of World War I. W.E.B. Du Bois is urging returning soldiers to continue to fight for democracy at home. So they left and they fought for democracy elsewhere. Now they come back to what W.E.B. Du Bois calls the fatherland, and in this fatherland, they need to fight for their freedom even more. Du Bois is adamant in what he's talking about. You could feel his pain, his anguish, his sort of his despair and his hope and his fight fly through these words. First thing I want you to take a look at in terms of the structure of it, man, very similar to the Declaration of Independence in the sense that, as you can see here, number 1, and then you can see down here number 2, and then 3, and then 4, on and on it goes. That's an arrow there. And so he's talking about the United States. He's saying this is what you do. It lynches, right? And it lynched. This was a period where, man, yet 50 years we have lynched 2 Negroes a week. So 2 Negroes a week, 2 times 52. That's over 100 black folks were being lynched each week, and he's speaking out on it. That probably made his life a little bit more fearful because he's speaking out on something that's happening to his own people. It disenfranchises his own citizens. It encourages ignorance. It steals from us. It insults us. So in the same sense that the Declaration of Independence for Thomas Jefferson, in that wonderful document, he talks about the King George, I believe. King George, he's like, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. That same flow, that same structure of the Declaration of Independence is here. So at the end of this, so at the end of Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson gets a charge for people. Hey, like, this is it now. We're free. We're independent. And he claims the independence. And here in this situation, it's not that he's claiming the independence, but he's claiming the fight. He's saying, look, man, this is our fight. We fought there. Now we return as soldiers, and we are still soldiers here. Let's take a look at this text right here. I want to do a close read of this particular text right here. You notice the repetition down here too, even more repetition as they go, as he writes all the way through to the end. But look at I guess it's paragraph 13. Paragraph 13 right here. It talks about, let's get a little bit of different color here. Let's get the green going. Let's get the green going. Okay. So here we go. In this country, which country is that? That's the United States, to which we, soldiers of democracy, return. So I like the fact that he capitalizes this the S in soldiers, capitalizes the D in democracy, and he makes this a proper noun, right? So these are people, these are the names of these individuals, and this is what they were doing. They were fighting for democracy, and they were doing this for the fatherland. You see that right there, for the fatherland. They were doing it. And that's what they fought for. Now you'll see this idea of fight in this paragraph over and over again. 1, 2. He uses words that start with F a lot. A 3 times in one paragraph. Battle, a synonym of fought. So battle right there. And he uses it over and over again because he wants you to know that it's fight time. He wants you to understand that it is fight, and he uses that repetition. I love finding repetition and things. Oh, I missed one right there. I love finding repetition. I love using it because repetition really brings points home. But it is our fatherland. So he says, this is the fatherland for which we fought. But it is our fatherland. I wonder why he used the word but, right? It's almost like people think that it's not our fatherland. You might think it's not our fatherland. This is our fatherland. This is where we're from. We may have ancestry from Africa, but this is our fatherland. This is where we are from. It was the right for us to fight. Like, we had that right to fight. The faults of our country are our faults. All the things that they did wrong, W.E.B. Du Bois is claiming to himself. Now, he is part of the African American ethnic group, and he's saying, look, man, everything that they dealt with, we deal with. Under similar circumstances, we would fight again. Wow. So even though all these harms and all these wrongs are being done, insults, stealing from us, ignorance being brought upon us, disenfranchisement, death through lynching, we would still fight again. But by God, by the God in heaven, I love that, man. I love that, man. That just carrying on that same tradition of faith and belief in a higher being that's ultimately going to make all things right. We are cowards and jackasses if now that the war is over, we do not marshal every ounce of our brain and brawn to fight a sterner, longer, and more unbending battle against the forces of hell in our own land. Oh my, the force of these words. Like, it's like, look, man, we fought over there, and we would be fools if we go fight over there and we don't fight here. And in fact, the fight here must be sterner, it must be longer, and it must be unbending. And as a parent, I think that's the same thing. Like, you fight outside your home in order to provide for your home, but within your home too. Like, you fight within that home to be the best that you could be and make that home the very best. As teachers, you make sure that you fight in order to get into that position and stay in that position and remain in that position. And when you're in there, the struggle still goes on. The struggle still goes on to protect that space as the learning space that it ought to be. And so the fight out there, the fight in here, hey man, we're ready for the fight. And that's what teachers in the trenches do. Teachers in the trenches fight. And that's why I am here. I am here doing close readings of all kinds of texts in order to remind teachers in the trenches, in this instance, that your fight is still there, and you must continue to fight. And obviously the fight that we fight is a different battle than the fight that W.E.B. Du Bois is talking about the soldiers fighting. Our fight is not physical. Our fight is mental. Our fight is a struggle to remain where we are and to not leave, to stay in those trenches, good teacher, to stay in them trenches. Man, this is a real good one. This was a real good one. W.E.B. Du Bois, Returning Soldiers. I'm going to link this text in the comments. Keep fighting. You fight out there, you got to fight in here. As a parent, you fight out there, you got to fight for a happy home. As a teacher, you fight to get to where you are. You fight all kinds of people outside there. You got to fight once you come in there, and you got to protect that learning space as best you can. Growth Educator, the king of the close read. I'll see you on the next one.